Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel on this nice windy, what are we in, May Day. I figured I'd do a little video here on some practical stuff that you want to keep with you in your bug out vehicle to repair your bug out vehicle in the event that you need to make repair while you're bugging out. Now before I get into this, I'll try not to keep this too long. What I'm not showing you here is the tools and obviously the knowledge that you need to fix things. Now I fix 99.9% of everything myself. I do all myself. It's the way I was raised, and that's, a lot of experience doing it. Hands-on guy, it's what I do. If I pay somebody to do something, I can do myself. However, not everybody has the mechanical abilities to do it, the knowledge to do it, or just maybe, never had anybody teach them over the years, which is fine. But there are three things you need to know how to do. Change a tire, jump start your vehicle, and change your oil. Those are essential, right? But let's get into some of this stuff here. Now, this is for emergency purposes only that I'm going to talk about a lot of this stuff. And before any of you criticize me, I see a lot of videos out there, everybody's carrying around a tile auto parts store with them inside their bug out vehicle. Well, there's a phrase, I'm sure most of you heard it, pounds equals pain. When you're carrying a bug out bag or any kind of pack, same thing applies for your vehicle because your gas mileage goes down the more stuff you carry. Now, I carry other stuff than this too, but it would take me all day to take everything out of my truck and put it all back. So let's go into some of the basics. First thing everybody should have, tire repair kit, a plug kit. Get the one with the rubber cement, because sometimes it's a royal bitch to get the plugs in without the rubber cement. It actually helps lube the plugs as it seals. Always want to keep extra jug of oil with you. Now my truck is a big truck, it takes 7 quarts of oil. I keep a 5-quart jug with me in case I can run it on 5 if I had to, right? Shouldn't, but I could if I had to. But I keep a 5-quart jug with me just in case, and I keep an extra oil filter. Why do I do this? Why is this important for a bug out vehicle? A, if you're bugging out, you might be on the road for a lot of mileage, which is another reason I go synthetic, but I'm not going to get in a synthetic argument right now. But you're going to go for a lot of mileage. You might have to do an oil change on the road, so it's a good thing to have extra oil in a filter. Or if something happens, your truck starts leaking oil, your vehicle's leaking oil, burning oil, you might need to put oil in it. Especially if you have an older vehicle that burns a little oil, you want to keep extra oil. All right, something else that's really important that I don't see enough people having in their exhaust clamps, and your regular worm gear clamps, hose clamps. You can pick up, guys, the assorted packs of these like this for like $6 in Harbor Freight. They do the same thing as any other clamp. Must have. Again, guys, this is the essential stuff. All right, and this is some actual solid advice here. By the way, if your vehicle burns oil, something that my vehicle doesn't burn oil, but I keep with me anyway, and I use one thing of it on every oil change, is a thing of STP oil treatment. If your vehicle burns a lot of oil, keep that with you, guys, in your bug out vehicle, because that will help prolong your oil life, help you get a little further. All right. Now, you should always keep extra hoses. All right, hoses are probably one of the main things that might go. Now, I always say you should always have upper and lower radiator hoses. Sometimes they're expensive, sometimes they're not. My truck, they're expensive. I do keep them in the truck, along with also front and rear brake pads. Keep those also. And I keep all the tools so I can do my brakes, and I also keep a full mechanic set. Everybody should have a good mechanics tool set in their vehicle. And if all you can afford is a Pittsburgh, Harbor Freight, or Walmart cheap set, Stanley cheap set, okay, you got to go with what you can afford. But you should really try to get at least a Husky or a Cobalt, the bare minimum, if you can't afford Craftsman or Snap-on or anything like that. But try to get yourself the best set you can for the money. All right. So anyway, back to the hoses. You should keep radiator hoses. That's number one thing. If you're gonna keep any hoses, you should keep that. I keep those in my truck. I also keep extra fuel line. And I keep extra vacuum hose. Trust me, I've had to use this stuff many times. Also, everybody keeps tape in their truck. I keep Gorilla Tape, regular duct tape, but I also keep this here. And this is actually metal foil tape that you use for duct work. This comes in handy for a lot of things. It's strong, it's thin, it's light, and it's really handy. Sometimes it's expensive to get your hands on, but I like to keep a little handy roll like this in here. All right, back to tires. Fix a flat. If you can't change your tire, you should know how to change a spare tire. You don't have a spare, your spare goes flat, or you don't have time and you're in a hurry, you can use a can to fix a flat. Get a can that's right size for your vehicle. Like this is for truck tires. That's why it's a huge can. If you get the can half this size, it will not work on large truck tires. Please, it will not work by itself. You could use it, but you'd also need to inflate your tires with a compressor, which I always recommend having a 12-volt compressor with you. I keep one in the truck also, something you should always have. All right, very important. Because especially if you're going to use the plugs, you break down, you got your spares shot, you more than one tire shot. Let's say you got 2 holes, you go over some nails, and you got nails in all 4 of your tires. You're going to be plugging tires and using fix a flat. It's not a bad thing to have an air compressor. They take a while, the 12-volt ones, especially on truck tires, but they work. You should get one if you don't have one. Again, fix a flat. Anybody who tells you that it's a permanent solution, it's not. It's good to get you where you got to go. It will help. Again, get one for vehicle size. If you can't find the monster can or your big truck tires, get yourself a couple smaller cans, keep in there. Also, if you're gonna get this stuff, remember, I would not be doing 70 miles an hour if I don't have to with this crap in my tire. Just saying, just a suggestion, but you can do as you please. Now, I keep different types of vinyl and PVC type sheets. Why? Because in case I blow multiple hoses or something, I can use this with some Gorilla Tape and some clamps, and I got myself a patch. Now these, I don't know where I got these from, but I keep them. I'm sure you can find them somewhere in a craft store or somewhere. Probably even a pool place might have a pool line repair kit. Sometimes have this stuff. It's good to keep. Extra headlight and fog light bulbs I always keep in my truck, because out of all the parts in your truck, you're going to need to be able to see. So it's always good to keep extra bulbs. Extra antifreeze, it's a given. Everybody knows you just keep extra antifreeze. You can keep water, yeah, that's great, but you want to have antifreeze, especially for the winter time, so you don't freeze up, overheat. Now, before I get into this, you guys don't want to put anything into your vehicle that is not supposed to be in your vehicle, all right? That being said, there's times you need to do things in the case of an emergency. You have a bad radiator leak in the radiator itself, somebody shoots out your radiator, whatever. Okay, or you got a leak in your heater core, you can use Bars leak. Do not buy the regular liquid, you want to buy the pelletized. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got little pellets inside. There you see. Now that will help clog up the holes and solve the problem temporarily. It also will work, I shouldn't say always, but it can slow down or stop head gasket leaks depending on how bad you blew your head gasket. Now, keep in mind, Bars leak will clog up your heater core. So if it's the winter time and you have to use this, do it. But you are going to clog up your heater core and you are not going to have heat, most likely. Something a lot of people neglect to tell you when you buy this stuff or on these videos. Everybody's like, Bars leak, pour it in, emergency, you're good to go on your BOV. Okay, but just keep in mind what you got to do with it. All right? And of course, last but not least, you should always have, or don't have them out here, a set of jumper cables. Very important. Jumper cables and or a jump starter battery pack, which I'd recommend because you might not always have another vehicle to jump your vehicle with. So again, everybody, this is some of the basics. I also carry brake pads. You cannot carry everything with you. If you do, you're going to weigh down your vehicle, kill your gas mileage. Plus, you're going to be carrying enough crap and gear in your vehicle if you're bugging out. You might have half the house and a bunch of kids and dogs and cats and squirrels, guinea pigs, birds, whatever. And you're not going to be able to, you're not going to want any more extra weight than you have to. So these are the basics that I think everybody should have. Solid advice. Be smart. Don't be stupid. Know what you're putting in your vehicle. And don't put anything in your vehicle that doesn't belong in there. Don't buy little bottles of the green stop leak and oil stop leak and think that's going to solve your problem, because it's probably not. You know, you got to be smart with what you're using. If you got a vehicle that leaks oil, buy some S cans of STP. Keep extra oil with you, extra oil filter, all that good stuff. And always be prepared for heater leaks, because that's 90% of the time is the number one thing that tends to go wrong on somebody's bug out vehicle. Is it's usually I find it's usually brakes and some kind of cooling system leaks. So it's good to have the extra radiator hoses, ways to bandage them up, clamps, all that good stuff. And keep the right tools that you have in there. So that's it. Hope this gives everybody some decent advice. Hope you're all having a great day. Hope you're enjoying me being back. I'm enjoying being back. Love all you guys. Stay safe, stay strong. Try to take my advice and when you can. And I love all my fans out there and my friends, family. Love you all. Take care. Bye.